In thinking about yoga, Joe reminds us that it began as a spiritual discipline for both Hindus and Buddhists. It remains today a way to achieve higher levels of consciousness within whatever religious tradition one finds oneself. Also, there are many different types of yoga. Most use concentration on an object, a part of the body, a deity, or even an idea to promote meditation. We're mostly familiar with yoga that emphasizes physical control, posture, and breathing. At the highest level, all are means of merging personal consciousness with the undifferentiated consciousness of the divine. The steps along the way are marked by psychological transformation, each step with a corresponding link to our Western philosophies. Joe now introduces us to perhaps the most sophisticated form of yoga, Kundalini Yoga, which concentrates on the 7 symbolic centers of our psychic energy.
Now, the specific yoga that I'm going to talk about, the dates for the sutras are usually given as sometime between 200 BC and 200 AD. In those 400 years there, this thing took its shape, apparently. The yoga that I want to speak about is a specific late form of yoga that developed in the 4th and 5th centuries, and it's known as Kundalini Yoga. And it affected all of the Eastern religious structures. It appears in Buddhism, in Jainism, in Hinduism about simultaneously. So that in talking about it, I'm going to use both systems, both the Buddhist and the Hindu images to illustrate it. Now we're going to start by meditating. This is said to be a comfortable posture, and we ought to sit there with the spine perfectly erect. Now, since the human body and the cosmic body are equivalent, our spine is comparable to the world axis. So we have reached the world axis, the central point, the immovable spot, and we are now in meditation. And you begin by breath control, breathing to certain paces. And the breath is very curious. You begin breathing in one nostril, hold out through the other nostril, hold in through the second, hold out through the, so forth and so on. The notion is that emotion and feeling and state of the mind are related to breath. When you are at rest, the breathing is in a nice, even order. When you are stirred with shock, the breathing changes. With passion, the breathing changes. All right, change the breathing and you'll change the state. So what we're trying to do is smooth the waters of the rippled stream by a slow, when you see one of these priests breathing this way, the length of the breath is terrific, and the practiced yogi has a great chest full of breathing possibilities. So we're going to calm the waters, and when the waters are calm, that image of images appears, is known to us. Now comes a point. This is the gross body. This is the subtle body. Do not identify the gross body with the subtle body. If you do that, you are crazy, and you think you're it. And so we must disengage. Now what that image represents is the totality of the energies of life pouring into the field of time and space, and so it is what we call God. God is a personification of the energies, and that's it. But these energies show themselves in the world in many aspects. The different organs of the body. Each organ of the body has its own impulse to action, and the whole problem of our psychology is the conflict of those impulse systems. So each of the organs of nature and of the body has its own inflection of this form, this one, and so we have 5. In the East, there are 5 elements. In usual talking in the West, there are 4, but then there are love and hate that pull them together and separate them, which represent the 5th. Here, the 5th is space, akasha, or as they usually translate it, ether. And then comes air, and fire, and water, and earth, in that order of density. And one of the modes of talking about creation is a precipitation out of space of an energy that becomes denser and denser in terms of the 5 elements. And then each of the element involves 5 factors so that it can be experienced by the 5 senses. So what this is a pantheon. There is a Buddha associated with each of those 5, a name of the Buddha. There's the Buddha of the center, and then there's the Buddha of the east, of the south, of the west, and of the north. Now this whole theme of east, south, west, and north associated with the solar course is a common feature in mythologies everywhere. The sun rises, the new day. The sun at noon is in the south. So the south represents the height, the culmination moment of consciousness in the field of time. In the west, it sinks into transcendence again. Then we speak about going west when one dies. And then in the north, it is, as it were, under the earth, and that's the area from which demons come, disease comes, danger comes, and so forth. And let's say tyrannical force comes from the north. It's amusing, in American Indian mythologies, the little heroes who are going to save their mother from danger of monsters are warned by her, do not go north. That's where danger is. You can go east, south, or west. So the boys go north. That's the only way to get past the rules of the society that you're in, is to go north, to break the rule. Then you find something that the society knows nothing about, and you bring it back, and that serves as a saving, amplifying force. So this business of the 4, is, we're going to have a central Buddha and 4 then representing east, south, west, and north.